The purpose of this Budget 101 video is to inform new Oaktree homeowners and remind existing homeowners of our Oaktree HOA budget process. In 2022, the first year of the Budget Advisory Council, we created 2 videos covering a large number of topics about the Oaktree HOA budget process. Many of the topics were specific to the situation in that first year. We have taken those original videos and edited them down to just the topics that are relevant every year to create this Oaktree HOA Budget 101 video.
Hi, I'm Mary Alice. In this video, we'll share what we have learned about our HOA budget. William will share with you the information we've put together.
Thanks, Mary Alice. To make sure we're all speaking the same language, let's start by defining some terminology. A homeowners association, or HOA, is an organization in a condominium or other planned housing community that makes and enforces rules about the appearance and maintenance of properties, and that maintains common areas with money from homeowner assessments. There are legal requirements for an HOA to be formed where common areas exist, and to pay for and maintain street lighting, retention ponds, stormwater drains, etc. The main reason for creating a homeowners association is to maintain communal areas and enforce rules and regulations to keep the overall community looking nice and cohesive. Homes in HOA communities typically enjoy higher and more stable property values. The biggest advantage of a homeowners association is the shared common areas within the community. Many associations have pools, clubhouses, sports courts, and other fun amenities that one homeowner could not afford on their own. Luckily, anyone living in the community can take advantage of these amenities. Let's look next at our HOA income sources. In exchange for joining our community, homeowners must pay HOA monthly assessments. The HOA uses these assessments to pay for the upkeep and maintenance of shared common areas and facilities. It also uses the money to pay for common utilities, such as garbage, water and sewer, and electricity. Assessments also cover other expenses, such as insurance, HOA management fees, and reserve contributions. For most HOA communities, monthly assessments are the primary income source. Since our community is still in the development or build-out period, we have a second source of income, capital contributions. Each initial buyer of a new home from Taylor Morrison is charged a one-time $4,800 capital contribution at closing. We understand there's some confusion about the purpose of the capital contribution. The purpose of this capital contribution is to help cover the annual operating expenses of the HOA during the years that new homes are still being built, what we refer to as the build-out period. The capital contributions will end when the last new home is sold. In other words, the purpose of the capital contribution is to supplement monthly assessments while the community grows. Both the monthly assessments and capital contributions go into the same operating account to pay for our HOA operating expenses. Cash means the operating account cash. Burning down cash means using operating account cash, decreasing the available cash balance. Expenses means the budget expenses. Assessments means the monthly HOA fees paid by each homeowner. Assessments and cash are the 2 sources used to pay expenses. Here are 2 other terms to be aware of. Declarant contributions, were contributions into the operating account from the developers in the early years of our HOA of $201,165. Those contributions are finished. Reserve funds, when homeowners pay their association assessments, a percentage of that amount goes to the HOA's reserve fund. Reserve funds are like a savings account. They pay for large-scale maintenance expenses such as roof replacements and pavement resurfacing. Now that we've defined some terminology, let's review the budget process and the Budget Advisory Council's role. Each year, the proposed HOA budget is developed by NOVA, our association management company. The NOVA team gather expense information from our vendors to develop the proposed budget.
And they provide the proposed budget to the Budget Advisory Council.
Our role is to take the proposed budget and review, analyze, question, discuss, debate, and recommend. We like to say our role is to review and recommend. The budget is reviewed by the HOA board, who determines the final budget to present to the homeowners for ratification.
We'd like to wrap up by sharing 2 financial realities we have learned. You may feel Taylor Morrison should pay for certain expenses, but the CCRs determine who is responsible for paying which expenses. The Villages is a perfect example. Taylor Morrison is responsible for the cost of building the Villages. The HOA is responsible for paying the expenses to operate the Villages. We have heard some differences of opinion on when the Villages should have been completed. 2023 falls into the originally planned time frame for completion. The final financial reality is what can happen when an HOA doesn't keep up with expenses and reserves. During our research, we learned about an HOA board that had not raised fees for 10 years. Not raising fees was a source of pride for that board. When a large unexpected expense occurred, that board had to make a major fee increase and levy a special assessment on each home. In closing, early in our process, we agreed our approach should protect our community from getting anywhere near a special assessment. So we adopted our fiscally conservative approach to the budget. Our main reason for taking this approach is the financial health and strength of our Oak Tree HOA can have a positive or negative effect on the value of our homes. A well-funded HOA is an asset. An underfunded HOA is a liability. We want our HOA to be well-funded, so it is a positive asset. Some homeowners may disagree with our approach. That's okay. There is more than one way to approach a budget. Some homeowners may disagree with the budget amount for a specific expense. With hundreds of people, there is always going to be differences in opinion. That's okay. The Budget Advisory Council doesn't always agree on the amount of every expense in the final budget. We are working to find an amount that is reasonable.
Thanks for watching.